Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? Today, in this ASMR football video, we are going to take a look at the Conference League, Europa League, but first we'll start off with the Champions League. And we're going to look at the semi-finals, those results, talk about the brilliant games that we saw, excellent football, and then we're going to predict the results of the finals, and you're going to join in the comment section if you're not dozing off to go to sleep listening to my voice, and let me know who you think is going to be the champion of each of the 3 European competitions. Also let me know how happy you are with your side's performance this year in the tournament, and we'll do a final video of the series after each of the finals have been played. I'll do one rounding up the whole season. And yeah, we'll take a look at how everything has gone. So one more game left for each of these cups, and then we'll be looking at next year. It's crazy, another year's gone already, right? Champions League. I sound so old when I say that. Champions League. So obviously 2 massive matches. One a little bit more exciting than the others because it was probably both games were the most exciting games of the entire season, and I missed them both because I was working, which was quite irritating. So I was looking at the scores as they were coming in. I was thinking to myself, I cannot believe I am missing this match. This is cruelty, absolute cruelty. So let's take a look at both semi-finals. Obviously, Arsenal lost at home to a very, very organised Paris Saint-Germain team. I believe Rice's words before the match were, "If we lose the ball, we're dead," something along those lines. Very much a possession-based team under Luis Enrique, and they just outpassed them in their own stadium. It was they could have got a couple of extra goals. They only scored 1 on the night, but Arsenal were a little bit shell-shocked. The goal came quite early on through Dembele, and yeah, they just looked a little bit shocked for quite some time in the match. And I kept on thinking, oh, they'll go in at half-time and they'll come out fighting in the second half, and it didn't really happen. Obviously, Dembele is just having a sensational season. I think it's one of his personal bests in terms of goal scoring. And then in the second leg we saw 2-1 victory for Paris Saint-Germain. So even Bukayo Saka couldn't save them. Yeah, and I think it was just a little bit too much for Arsenal. They need to have the ball. They obviously struggle with strikers this year. I think that is their number 1 priority for next year. They've obviously got a very good goalkeeper, great defence. They're pretty good on the wing. Maybe Martinelli will be replaced. We'll see. I think people have been a little bit underwhelmed with his performances this year, so they might need a winger as well, but they definitely need a striker, and maybe we'll see a Victor Gyökeres or someone of that ilk coming in to try and help, because I think the only thing missing with them at the moment is a goal scorer up front. Although in saying that, they do tend to score quite a lot of goals through their set pieces, both free kicks but mostly corners. I think they just kind of I was watching them play Newcastle the other day, and they sort of just pen the opposition back, and if they're organised in defence and they go side to side, they've got no one to aim for in the middle at the minute. So even if they cross the ball in, there's no one there, or no one's tall enough to deal with it. So very often, because they're down the wings to try and create space, try and pull people out in defence, what they're finding at the minute is it's better for them to get a corner. Their big centre-backs come up. They've got their routines, obviously, which are amazing, and they score most of their goals through corner kicks. So yeah, they couldn't play like that against Paris Saint-Germain because Paris Saint-Germain had the ball. I obviously didn't see this match. Yeah, they had 54% possession, so they did have quite a lot, much more than in the first half. But as I said, they just don't have that many goal scorers. Overall it's just 52, but I remember periods of the first half where it was just complete dominance though. Okay, and then let's talk about Barcelona and Inter. If this had been the final, it would have just been magical, and finals are never this exciting usually. I think probably the World Cup final was probably one of the best finals I've ever seen, because normally finals are like 0-0, 1-0, penalties. There was no intention of Barcelona of sitting back, was there? And obviously this man here, Yamal Lamine, was just absolutely sensational. Like, he's a child. He's basically a child. And I think he's already one of the best players in the world. I wasn't entirely... Well, I watched Spain win the European Championship in the summer, and I thought he and Nico Williams were just absolutely amazing. But I think in this match he particularly shone out as an individual brilliance rather than just a part of a really, really good team. There were moments where Barcelona looked a little bit stuck, and he was just like, give me the ball. Literally give me the ball and I will do whatever you need me to do. He just walked through amazing. Di Marco is a fantastic defender. Like, he's literally one of the best left backs in the world, let alone in Serie A. And he looked like exhausted when he went off the pitch about an hour in, 70 minutes in, because this guy had just driven him insane. And I think in the end they just had two people on him, and he just run past them both or through them both. I've not seen such an amazing performance by someone in such a long time. I was just, I was totally taken aback by how good he was. So 3-3. I think in my prediction video I said that Inter would like keep it really steady at the back, but this Barcelona team are just so good going forward. This was sort of a microcosm of how their tactic works. It's just all about attack, and so teams that counter-attack can get loads of goals against them, but Barcelona usually will outscore them. In this instance, Inter were just a little bit too good for them. So Dumfries was sensational. The Thuram goal with the back heel, that was amazing. Just, yeah, absolute brilliance. And this shouldn't have been an on goal. That Rafinha strike was absolutely amazing. So it's not bad enough you got him on the right wing. You got Rafinha, who I've said should be getting the Ballon d'Or all season, on the left wing. So yeah, they've got a terrifying side. And then, they went through. Now, I read a lot. I said I didn't see this match. I saw the first one, I didn't see this one. And the goals just kept coming in on my phone, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm missing this match. But then when I saw that Rafinha had scored in the 87th minute, I thought to myself, alright, that's done now. They're winning 3-2. But apparently, the German manager of Barcelona, his name completely is Hansi Flick, has been going to the Tottenham Ange Postecoglou game, sort of tactics meetings or something, because why on earth would you not sit back on the 88th minute? Why are you pushing your defence up to the halfway line at this point? Like, what are you doing? And that Acerbi goal from someone who I think, has he like never scored a Champions League goal or something? And he finished it like, I don't know, I think Del Piero would have been happy with that. And then Fratesi on the 99th minute, just absolute scenes. And I said, I hate being right, obviously I love being right, but I said Inter from day one was going to be in the final. I said against Liverpool, and they're against Paris Saint-Germain. So my prediction for the final is that... it's a tough one. I think Paris Saint-Germain are going to play well. They're going to have a lot of the ball. Inter will let them have a lot of the ball. But I've seen points this season where they haven't been as, apart from Dembele, they haven't been as... they haven't scored the goals that they... I think of that game against Liverpool, for example, and the game against Arsenal, they should have scored even more goals. They play lovely football, but they do lack composure in front of goal, and they're not clinical enough. That's the word I was looking for, clinical. And as a result of that, I think that Inter are a wily old fox, and I think that they will win. It might be a 1-0 win, but I do think that this Inter team are going to win the Champions League, and I have done since day one, to be honest. Although, in saying that, Martinez, I think, is out for the final. Leandro Martinez, so that doesn't help. That is a massive blow. Maybe that will affect things, but at the minute I am saying Inter to win it 1-0. Okay, tell me what you think in the comment section. Let's pop over to the next one, which is the Europa League. Okay, so fixture-wise, we saw an incredible, like, I'm an Athletic Bilbao supporter, and I assumed that Athletic Bilbao would be in the final, which is in their home stadium, is in San Mamés. When I saw the goals coming in, I was absolutely astonished. I couldn't believe this Man United side that are near the relegation zone in the Premier League. Athletic Club are 4th, and they're going to get Champions League next year in Spain. But Man United whoop them at home, and that doesn't happen. Like, no one does that. Even Real Madrid, Barcelona can't do that. I know they had a player sent off for a penalty, but some of the goals they let through were just so weak, and so I was really shocked. It was just a complete meltdown, which usually at home with their very vociferous supporters, wonderful atmosphere in that stadium. I was absolutely shocked with that result. So I thought at that point in time, that's over, you know, that's done. Equally, Tottenham, apart from this final goal by Saltness, who's had a sensational season, well done to him, they were 3-0 up for most of the match, and I thought that they were absolutely amazing. Brennan Johnson scored in the first minute. He just did that thing he always does where he cuts in at the last possible minute and is just right in the middle of the spot waiting for someone to pass back from the byline, a ball to him for him to slot in. And he does it so often. He could get like about 6 goals a game, and even Ange Postecoglou came out in the subsequent press conference and said, listen, he does that like 10 times a match, watch him. If you're attacking down the left hand side, he will sort of be here, and then as you're there, all of a sudden he's there, and defenders just don't know where he's gone. He's so fast, and so all he needs to do is cut the ball back to him, and he's going to have an opportunity on goal. I'm surprised a little bit. I know he's their top goal scorer this season, but I'm surprised at times that he doesn't get even more goals, because he's literally always in the right place at the right time. I think his teammates need to like look for him a little bit more often. And then I was quite shocked. I mean, it's an away victory and a really, 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 like, I'm not even kidding how difficult Bodø Glimt is. They have won all of their home games in Europe this season. And so to lose at home, and for Tottenham to get a clean sheet as well, is really, really good. So well done to them. They're obviously putting everything into this competition, because I think if they don't win it, Ange Postecoglou is gone for the season they've had. And then Athletic Club were 1-0 up, but then these late goals, as they obviously must have been, I didn't see it, obviously must have been throwing men forward to try and get 2 goals, and they just had them on the counter-attack. 2 from Mason Mount, Casemiro and Højlund, with the 4th. Well done to Man United. So Spurs, Man United. I would love Spurs, as you know. I've been watching Spurs a lot. I am a little bit of a Spurs fan, particularly because of all their Welsh players. We know this if you watch the channel regularly. But I think on the odds, I'm going to say that Man United are going to win the cup. I really, really want Spurs to win it, because I don't think it's time for the Ange Postecoglou project to finish just yet. I think he needs at least another half a season, hopefully without all the injuries. And, you know, but it could be a bad thing, you know, if he gets into the Champions League next year with how they've played in the league, maybe it'll be a complete disaster. So maybe I'm wrong. But I think that on the surface of it, Man United are probably the more likely to win it. Okay, and lastly, let's go to the Conference League then, shall we? So I said from day one that Fiorentina and Chelsea would be the final, and I'm wrong. I was nearly right, to be fair, but the Antony effect took place instead. So we had, Chelsea could have basically like hopped on one leg and made the final of this competition this year. It was men and boys. They went and they beat Djurgården in Stockholm 4-1 in the opening round of fixtures, and then in the second one they didn't really have to try. Their away form in Europe has been absolutely fantastic this year. Fair play to them. So they beat a side they didn't even really have to try 1-0. Well done to Chelsea. Of course, if they win this competition, they guarantee the Europa League spot, but they are looking obviously for Champions League football in the league. So they have got two massive games this week coming up, which are really going to define their season. Are they going to get the Champions League or not? And then apart from that, Real Betis won the first leg thanks to an Antony goal against Fiorentina. And at that point I thought, well, Fiorentina are very strong at home. Moise Kean has had a fantastic season. I think they can probably win. At this point they were winning 2-1, and it was going to go to extra time. Antony scored the first goal, and then Ezal Zuli scored the second. I think Antony got the assist for it as well, did he? Yeah, assist by Antony, so he has literally dragged them into a final. They absolutely love him in Seville, so yeah, he's done brilliantly. So Real Betis against Chelsea. I think this is clearly the best team that Chelsea have faced in this entire competition. Fiorentina would have been a very, very tough ask. I think Real Betis are in even better form. They're higher in their particular league than Fiorentina is in their league. And yeah, I think they're just sort of doing really, really well at the moment on a very good run of matches. I say very, very good run of matches, 3 draws there, but one of those was against Fiorentina, and they just lost to Atletico Madrid, so maybe I'm talking nonsense, but I think it'll be tough. I still think Chelsea will win, obviously, but I think Real Betis maybe will insist that they score 2 goals, and one of those comes later on in the match. I think they could be 1-1 for some time. And yeah, I think Antony might be able to score in the final. He's really grown on me this season. I hope that he gets a nice move, or it works out for him at Man United next year. So our prediction is that Chelsea will win, but it will maybe be 2-1 over Real Betis in Warsaw. No, Wrocław, excuse me. Tarczyński Arena, Wrocław. Okay, I cannot wait. Let me know what you think the scores of the finals are going to be. Let me know if you're happy with the semi-final results. And do give me a comment if you enjoy the video. Sorry, a comment and a like if you enjoy the video. Subscribe, and I'll put another video here that you should check out next. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll do another video as soon as all 3 finals have taken place, and we'll look at the overall season of each cup, and we'll look at what went well and what didn't. Okay, take care. I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.